mom is sitting outside in a lawn chair, smoking a cigarette. Hey! Sorry. Hey y'all. So, today's video is going to be a story time, I think. I don't know. I don't really have no ideas right now. So I figured why not the story time. So, what is this story about? That's a good question. What is the story about? We're going to talk about how, I think it was, we're in 2021. So it was 3 years ago. If I can do math right, it was 3 years ago. So I went to a party 3 years ago. Yes, okay. It was a New Year's party. Yep. Okay, we're gonna talk about the New Year's party. So 2018 New Year's party. I don't know what grade I was in. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I think I was a freshman. Yeah. So freshman year, my friend was having a party. Okay, rule number one. Rule number one. If a white person is having a party, you better check all the details out, okay? Because if you are black going to a white person party, you better have everything down packed, okay? Okay. 2. Child, it was fun. It was fun. But anyways, so we're gonna give you backstory. So my friend, I don't want to say her name. My friend, we gonna call her K. No, I don't like that. What do you call her? We're gonna call her J. My friend J. Letter J. My friend J. She wanted to have a New Year's party, but nobody really knew how it was gonna go because she kept saying she was gonna have it. She was gonna have everything. But when the time came and I was like helping her plan it, she didn't have anything. So I'm like, girl, it don't sound like you're gonna have a party, but you know, she asked me to make flyers and all that. So I was like, listen, I'm gonna do what I can do. So she's like, I'm having a party. You know, post about it, let everybody know that I'm having a party. I'm like, cool, okay, like, shoot, I'm down to party. And like in freshman year, that was my coming of age kind of thing. So I wasn't like, I'm not gonna say I wasn't established, but like, you know, I was really like becoming who I am today. So I was like, listen, I gotta get out there, I gotta party, I gotta show my behind. So fast forward, I'm helping her put her party together. Finally, we kind of had like an official, like, all right, this is the date. Obviously, it was a New Year's party, but like, you know what I mean? Like, all right, this is gonna be like, this is the date, this is what we're bringing, this is like we got all that down. So, the week leading up to it, I'm like promoting it, you know, I'm like, come to this party, everybody like, this party gonna be good, like, is it really gonna be how y'all say it's gonna be? I'm like, yeah, like, come to the party. Oh, this is my phone case. Whole time, I didn't even know the party was gonna be all that. I thought nobody was gonna come, but I'm telling my friends, telling my friends from like different areas, I'm like, listen, tell your friends out there to come to this party gonna be lit, like, come to the party. So, we ended up, the party ended up happening, but what's crazy is, it was raining the night of New Year's Eve that day. So it was raining, and I was supposed to spend it under her house. So that was another issue right there. Why would I ever agree to spend a night at a white person's house? And it's like, no offense to white people, but just personally, as a black person, like, I feel very uncomfortable around white people, especially in this day and age. But back then, it was just like, I was kind of with whatever. So I'm like, I'm just spending the night at this girl house. I didn't even know her. I had never been to her house, none of that. But I was just dumb. I'm like, yeah, we gonna spend the night at her house. It was me and my sister. I'm like, yeah, we gonna spend the night at her house. Like, it's gonna be lit. We're gonna be partying all through the night. Cool. Everybody had New Year's plans. My mom, my brother, all them. So the house was gonna be empty. We was gonna go out. We was gonna have our own little thing, a little shindig, and whatever. So the day New Year's Eve comes, I'm so excited. I'm like, I'm finally getting, because I didn't really go out that much. So I'm like, I'm finally going to a party. It's like finally happening. All this other stuff, right? Wrong. Anyways, day the party comes. I had raisins, so I wasn't that pretty in freshman year. I'm gonna be honest. Freshman year was not my peak. I didn't really peak to the end of freshman year, so. But I still want some ugly little fit. My fit wasn't even cute. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know what I put together. It was like some basic, like it was so ugly. Like it wasn't ugly, but it was so basic. Like that's what makes it ugly because it was basic. Like it was a really basic, stupid fit. So I threw my little fit on. It was like, first of all, it was like this little pink shirt. I don't even like the color pink, but it was this pink shirt with like it's like a V-neck cutout with a hood on it, and it was short sleeves. Like it was a fit. It was a fit. One I would never wear again. Anyways, and these like new fashionable jeans. That's when I really started wearing fashionable. But it was these fashionable jeans and some Vans. Any fit. So I was getting ready for the party, had my bag packed. I was packed and ready to go. I packed my bag like 3 days before that party. I was ready to get out of the house. I was ready to get lit. I was ready to get crunk. I was ready to do all that. I was ready to show my behind. Anyways, and I knew it was gonna be niggas there, so I was like, yeah. But anyways, so like I said, get to the party, whatever, it's raining. My mom dropped me off, and it's alright, see. Let me give y'all the breakdown of the party. So we get to the party, right? Like I said, it's raining. Why is her mom sitting on the porch smoking a cigarette?
No, like videos.
Her mom is sitting outside in a lawn chair smoking a cigarette. That right there should have told me, hey, this is not the crowd you want to be in. But I went along with it. Went to the party, went inside. I was like, hey. She's like, hey. I'm just like, if your parents are okay with you having a party, that's like, it's not a red flag to me, but that's like a flag. Because it's like, parents know what goes on at a house party. Like, they've been young before, and if your mom is okay with that, baby, I don't know. Maybe I'm just not that close to my mom that she would. I don't know. We going fast forward. Anyways, getting the party. It's mad people standing by the door, and it was like people I knew but I didn't know personally. So I'm looking like they were from another town. So I'm like, oh, y'all really came? So I'm like, all right, this party better be lit because I made sure all the people came, all this other stuff. So, I get in a party. I'm like, all right, where can I go to my bag? She like, go sit your bag in my room. I'm like, all right, cool. Y'all, I climbed them little three steps to get to her room. Go in the room. It's just a mattress. And I ain't got nothing against people who sleep on a mattress. But it wasn't what I was expecting at all. So I'm like, okay. So where we finna sleep? Because that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm really thinking, like, where we finna sleep? Because I'm not big on sharing beds with people. So I'm like, where we finna sleep? But I just disregarded it. And then what made it worse was that her room was nice, but there was people in her room. And I had to sit my bag down. And I'm like, listen, people like to steal. People get grabby. And I don't know. So I ended up just putting my bag in her closet. She's like, oh, just put the bag in the closet. Everybody put the bags in the closet. I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. Put my bag in the closet. Kept the push in. Went back down. I'm walking around like I'm feeling a little awkward because like I see people that I know, but I'm like, yeah, I don't know if this is my kind of crowd because it was like a lot of white people in a white neighborhood with some black kids. Yeah, talk about it right there. So, anyways, I'm walking around trying to scoop out the party to see she had her dogs put up. People that scared of dogs. I'm waiting for a couple of my other friends to get there. One of my friends was texting me. He was like, how's the party turn out? I'm like, bro, I don't even know. So they get there, whatever. I'm basically just talking to people that I know. I'm feeling kind of uncomfortable at that point. She's like, oh, everybody come upstairs. Like, we're gonna take Jello shots. Yada da da. So I go upstairs, take a few Jello shots. I'm trying to get loose, trying to not feel this uptight because this isn't the kind of situation. Like, I don't know. Parties first start, I always feel mad uncomfortable. So I'm trying to feel comfortable with the situation that I'm in. But I only went down here from there. So a couple of my other friends get there. That's when the party really started because they brought that. Yes. So they're like, oh, it's time to get lit. So we're gonna skip the part that happened in the bathroom. But it was a fun party at that point. Then it kind of went downhill after that. We got lit or whatever. Had some fun. And here comes the issue. So prior to the party, she had beef with some girl, some other white girl, right? She had beef. I was unaware of the beef. I really wish I would have known prior to the party that she had beef with this girl. So, child, the girl she had beef with was not allowed to, like, the girl wanted to come to the party. She said, no, you can't come to my party. I guess that caused some kind of controversy because the girl had ended up calling the cops on the party. Y'all, she called the cops. She called the police. And we was black in a white neighborhood. Woo! So, child, she called the police. I'm sitting in her room, like, out of my mind. And I'm just sitting there, you know, minding my business, vibing or whatever, you know, trying to get comfortable with the scenery. And somebody go, the cops is here. They look out the window, they're like, yo, the cops are here. I'm like, the cops? The wheel is here? Oh no, baby, that ain't gonna work at all. That ain't gonna work. So I'm like, what you mean the cops are here? What you mean the cops are here? Like, we're all minors. And so they're like, oh, well, her mom's here, so she'll be fine. You know, she can go talk to the cops.
Yeah, it is.
No. Her mom's taking a shower. Her mom is taking a shower. And you know what makes it worse? The girl, the host, my friend, she's nowhere to be found. We're trying to find her because this is her house. Your mom is in the shower, so you're next up. Mind you, she's blacked out of her mind. We can't find her. They're like, yo, we gotta go. Like, we can't be here. The cops is here. I'm like, you think I don't know that? But baby, I'm supposed to be spending a night here. So one of my other friends, she's like, okay, I'm just gonna go down there and talk to the cops. So my friend goes down there. Mind you, she's very, very short. She's like 4'9". She looks like a child. Well, at the time, she looked like a child. So it's like, she's like, yeah, I'm gonna go down there and talk to him. I wasn't finna object because I'm not finna talk to him. So I'm like, all right, we're gonna see. So I'm sitting there like, oh no, baby, this ain't gonna work. My phone about to die. I have really bad anxiety. So I'm sitting there hyperventilating. I'm like, I can't do this. So my friend goes down. She go, I don't know what she says to the police. She comes back upstairs. She's like, oh, they're gonna search the house. Search the house? Search who house? The house that I'm sitting in? No, baby, that ain't gonna motherfucking work. So she's like, yeah, the cops come to search the house. When I say every black person in that room jumped up, they're like, yeah, we gotta leave now. They're like, who's coming? We gotta leave. And we're like, leave? Like, I'm supposed to spend the night here. They're like, yo, we gotta leave. Like, we have to go. So I'm like, all right, cool. So me and a couple other people, like me, my sister, and a couple other people was like, all right, we're gonna leave now. Like, we have to go. We had no time because the cops were like started circling the house. So like, yeah, we have to get out before like they get to the back because that's the only way out. So they're like, all right, so we run out. We had to run past the door because there was a cop at the door and like looking through the window on the front. And it was like this big glass window. So we're like, all right, we're trying to sneak down or like run. So we're sneaking out. We had to climb over. Mind you, I told y'all it was raining, so it was like torrential rain. So we go downstairs, we're going outside, like going down the steps, down the deck outside. Why is there a big puddle? Mind you, it was almost midnight. It was probably like 11:15 when all this happened. So it was this big puddle. Child, why do I step in a puddle? With my new shoes and jeans. Like, I had a whole new fit on. So I'm mad. I didn't have no time to be mad. So I'm trying to get out. And to get out, we had to like climb over her fence. She had this big fence. But luckily, she had like these pieces of extra like plywood or wood or whatever it's called, just sitting like leaning on the fence. So we stepped on the wood, then climbed the gate. And this girl in front of me was taking her time. She like, I can't get up. Girl, like, we gotta go. She took her time. So I'm pushing her over. She like, stop pushing me. I'm like, stop pushing you, girl. I got to go. Do you not see my skin? Do you not see my skin color, baby? I have to go. So finally she get over. When I say that is the fastest I have ever climbed, like I've climbed fences before, that's the fastest I've ever climbed a fence. So I hop over the fence. We had to run through like these people's garage. Mind you, they had like alarm detector, whatever, you know what I mean, like they had like the motion lights alarm detector things. So that is like going off as we're running through these people's yards. The lady comes out. I'm like pushing the gate like, I gotta go. So child, finally I get through. We run like I said, this is white people land. I don't know where I'm at. I'm lost. I've never been out here before. I don't live out here. Like, I don't know where I'm at. So we walking, and these two girls talking about, oh, we know where we are, just follow us. Two white girls. And if you ever seen a movie, never follow the white girls in a scary movie. I'm just throw it out there. But we go, I'm following these two girls. I was friends with them, But we found these two girls, child, we getting lost because they started arguing about which way to go. One talking about, no, it's down here, down this dark path with no street lights. The other one talking about, oh, it's up here, up a hill with no street lights. And I'm like, at this point, I'm going to just go back the way I walked and go in a circle. So we're like, all right, we're just going to turn around. There's no point in going down because we see an undercover cop posted up on the corner. Now, I don't really know if it was an undercover cop, but they said it was. And I'm going to just trust them. If white people say it's something, then it's something. So, child, we turn around, we walking back to the house, but they're like, all right, instead of walking like straight back, like go up the hill and go around. So we walking up this hill, going around. Luckily, we walked slow to give the cops like time to leave and do whatever they had to do. I guess at some point her mom came out the house because we get back to the house. Her mom's outside like, oh, everybody gotta leave. I'm like,
where?
Leave.
Home.
Leave. I'm supposed to spend the night at your house. I'm like, oh, but I'm supposed to be like spending the night at your house. What do you mean I have to leave? She's like, oh, I'm sorry, but you have to go. She's like, just call your mom and leave. And she's like, get an Uber, get a Lyft, leave. I don't care. You just have to get off the property. And I'm like, no, like I'm not leaving. Like,
no, you did not.
Be responsible. Like I'm supposed to spend the night at your house. Like, what do you mean I have to leave? She's like, oh, you guys gotta leave. You gotta leave. I'm like, she's like, oh, I can't go back to jail. Ma'am, go back. What do you mean go back?
I mean, I did. No, I did, and then right after that, you started acting weird.
So, child, yeah. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, listen, and then right after that,
we're just gonna leave. I'm just gonna get my stuff. I'm like, can I at least go in the house and get my stuff? Because I'm not about to leave my stuff at your house and come back for it. No, I'm gonna leave. She's like, oh yeah, you can grab your stuff. So I grab my bag. I'm like, all right, we just gonna go. So we walking. I'm walking with like a couple of my other friends, and we're all walking. We had to walk down the highway because the way their house was set up, it was like literally like, I don't know how to explain the road, but it's like a road that was basically like a highway. So we walking down the side of the highway. Mind you, it's almost midnight. It's New Year's. It's freezing cold, mind you, because it's winter. It was raining. It's freezing. So we're walking. We don't know where we're going. We're just walking straight because that's the best we can do. Is just walk straight. It's just a straight path. We're walking. Finally, we go to a spot that kind of looks familiar. And one of the girls I was walking with, she's like, oh, I kind of know where I'm at. We have to like make this turn. So we make a turn. Why, when we're about to make this turn, one of the people that we were walking with, this boy, his mom pulls up. So we're like, oh, thank God, like his mom's here. And I lived by him. Like we lived like right across from each other. Well, not across the house from each other, but like our towns were like right next to each other. It's hard to explain the way it's set up, but he lived on the east side, I lived on the west side. So I'm like, oh, thank God, like his mom's here. Like, first of all, it was just him, and he's walking with all these girls. So you're thinking like, oh, you're walking with all these girls, like you're gonna try to get the girls home. Why does his mom just pick him up and say, oh, bye, and just drive off? A bunch of the girls walking alone at night, and you're just gonna take your son. I'm sorry, but that's trifling. That's desperately trifling. Anyways, so the girl was like, all right, I know where we're going. Like, my house is this way. So we're walking down this long street. Finally, I get to a point where, like, I know where I'm at. And I'm like, all right, I know this town. Like, I'm out here all the time. So we're like, yeah, so we're walking. And she's like, she looks at me and my sister. She's talking about some, oh, where are y'all going? I'm like, huh? She's like, oh, like, do y'all have somewhere to stay? Because, like, y'all can't stay in my house. She's like, y'all can come to my house, but y'all gotta leave. I'm like,
where are you looking? Are you looking at your vibe?
Like, it was just a weird night, and when I think my attitude started growing, I'm like, oh no, like, I'm about to just call my mom and I'm gonna leave. And she's like, oh, are y'all good? I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna leave. Like, this, I'm not about to do this. Like, what? But then she took, like, a couple of my other friends with her. Like, she basically took the people that she was close with, because, like, I knew the girl, but I knew her through one of my friends. So she basically took the people that she knew and left, which, like, I get, you don't want to take strangers to your house, but okay. So my mom calls me or whatever. Like, prior to that conversation happening, my mom had called me, and she was calling me to say Happy New Year's. So I'm just thinking, I'm so glad she called me. She's like, Happy New Year's. And, like, I was, like, borderline in tears. And she's like, oh, what's wrong? I'm like, I'm basically trying to give her, like, a short rundown of what happened. I'm like, basically, we're yada yada, this is where we're at. Like, we need to get home. So my mom went to a party, so she couldn't come get me. Luckily, my brother had his own car at the time, so he could come get us. And we had to basically wait because he was in West Philly, so we had to wait for him to come out there. And taking his time, he's like, oh, he don't want to leave his party, yada, yada, yada. But I'm like, bro, it's cool. Like, if you don't hurry up and come on. So finally, he gets down there. And while we were waiting for him to come there, we had to, like, wait and, like, just basically, not abandoned. It's not abandoned because, like, it's open in the daytime, but it looks abandoned at night. We're basically standing in this abandoned parking lot with all these, like, places around it. And it was just creepy. Like,
Imagine what could have been.
So creepy out there. And, child, I just seen a rat. I seen a rat.
So imagine what could have been.
A rat. And that's when I knew I had to get out of there. Because, Then these boys in a truck, like, pulled through the parking lot, did this big turn, and was, like, driving mad slow, looking at us. I'm like, oh, no. Oh, no, I can't be out here.
Imagine what could have been.
So I'm like, I gotta go home. So, finally, he gets there. Why we go to get in his truck, and there's all these girls in here acting like they can't move over? Baby girl, I'm his sister. I suggest you move. Or you can go walk back to West Philly. Okay? Okay. So he gets us in the car. He like, did y'all eat? I'm like, do we look like we ate? So we had to go stop at Wawa, get something to eat. Then we go home. Child, why I ain't got my keys? Why I ain't got my keys? So he had to come back and unlock the door because I ain't had my keys. That was also another salty part of my night. But you know, one thing that night did teach me is to always have my keys. Because if it would have came down to it, I would have walked home. And if I would have walked home and had my keys, I would have been cool because I knew where I was at. But what is the takeaway from this story? Takeaway is, don't trust white people. Okay, because
Lobby didn't work.
It's never gonna be good. But I hope y'all enjoyed this story. Y'all, I don't know how to end it. I hope y'all enjoyed this story.
Weird,
I hope y'all learned something from my traumatic experience. I tried to fit as much as I could in, but anyways, once again, I am Adore Abby. I just want to say thank you for watching. If you haven't already, hit the like button and subscribe. Tap the bell so you can be notified every time I post. And with that being said, I hope all of you have a wonderful day and or night. Be blessed, stay safe, use protection. And that's all I gotta say.